Alright, I feel like this is looking too good to not try if we get a pullback here. Everything is just aligning. I mean, no shit, but what would the theoretical SL be? Wow, okay. I mean, it just looks really nice. I just want some lower time frame confirmation. But this could be really easy to miss as well. Okay, we are getting a bit of a pullback. I wonder if Tom is all over this or not. I feel like he likely is. The volume is quite sharp though. Ooh. Just keep in mind we were in similar situations throughout this period, so this isn't really like that crazy. It's not really out of character for our low time frame. I'm ready to enter though, if something happens. This is good. I'm not going to get too caught up flipping to the correlation because it's just going to show me what we're already seeing on here. It's kind of redundant, and I really want to put my emphasis on the behavior of this price action right here. I'm still liking this. That's what we want. If we get a breakout here, I'll probably enter. Alright. So I did take an entry there. Volume's so shit right now that I don't know how this will work out, but hope you guys enjoyed that little edit. As you saw, it did end in a win. I did get really lucky though, not gonna lie, just with the stop loss placement. But yeah, I'm gonna go over this trade really quickly. I didn't feel the best about it, but I felt compelled to take it just because of how technically lucrative it was. Absolutely overextended relative to the high middle time frame range on USDJPY. And of course, just given how overextended we are, that would mean that both correlations are likely looking really good as well. DXY obviously super overextended, low time frame wise, not middle time frame wise, but low time frame wise overextended into an area where you would expect a pullback imminently. And you know, there was some volume coming in, nothing crazy, but USDJPY very overextended, more so than DXY. I was a little bit worried about just how melty this was looking. It was kind of looking like we were gonna just dump, but anyway, decided to put the rep up. I really do not like trading USDJPY, and this trade kind of allowed me to dive in and diagnose why that is. Because, not gonna lie, like, I put extreme emphasis on gold's price action, and I've quite literally taken about 4 trades ever on USDJPY, and I've maybe won one of them. Like, for some reason, I'm just not good at trading USDJPY, which kind of confused me, because at the end of the day, market structure is market structure. Human behavior is human behavior. There really shouldn't be like that much of a difference. But this trade kind of gave me insight as to why, and we'll go over that in a second, but we'll go over the trade really quick. Entered on, as you saw, that little 5-second breakout, and yeah, it was really nice. 30-minute candle open, push bullish with volume, took that previous high, and then we saw a 5-second shift. Yeah, I just threw up a take profit and stop loss of, I don't even remember how many pips, but it was roughly a 1-to-1, a little bit greater than a 1-to-1. But the stop loss, just given how low volume this was, the stop loss ended up being quite high, and I ended up leaving it because it was a comfortable risk, and because the 30-minute candle just opened, and I figured if we do get some slight manipulation, whatever, I'll leave some breathing room for it, because of how high the risk reward potential is for this trade. Regardless of how far I'm going to hold it, the potential is there. We're just super overextended. It looks like a quality trade, and I still think it is, but yeah, ended up completely ranging for like an hour straight. I was going to close it somewhere, let me see, actually, 1, 2, 3. I was going to close it right here, because I do have a rule that I'm allowed to close if we reject the same area on the 1-minute chart on 3 different candles, and we did. But I figured I'm not risking much with this trade anyway, and I'll just sit through the discomfort. It'll be good. It'll be a good mental exercise for me. So that's what I did. Just let this sit for about an hour or so, and if this thing would speed the fuck up, that'd be nice. DXY just kept pushing bullish here, and it's actually pissing me off, but luckily USDJPY, or luckily the yen basket, got a really, really nice influx to the upside. Take profit was hit. Now, how did I set that? Well, I didn't really want to hold through this hourly level, and I will often set take profits based off of low time frame extremities like this, but it was just unfavorable, and I had enough confidence in the vastness of the overextension to hold it a little bit longer. Now I kind of just lost my train of thought, not gonna lie, but oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, objectively speaking, this is, like, I'd almost consider it a losing trade, right? Let's say the volume had have been a little bit higher here, and that's actually completely unintentional, by the way. Let's say the volume just was a little bit higher here, these candles were a little bit bigger, and my stop loss, I ended up just throwing it there. I probably wouldn't have bothered pulling it up, but it just happened to work in my favor. So yeah, regardless, happy with the thought process going into the trade, which is what I'm analyzing after every single trade. It's what went through my mind to come to the decision to enter the trade. And if I'm happy with that thought process, I'm happy with that narrative, then regardless of the outcome, that's all I'm judging. I'm judging the thought process. I'm not judging the outcome whatsoever. I was happy with the thought process going into this, so yeah. As for why I think I'm shit shit at trading USDJPY compared to gold, I think that it comes down to the volume and how I personally enter. So gold's volume, let me just exit a replay mode here so that we get a clear black screen to work with. Okay, let's say we have a chart here. Let's just say this is volume, like this is the size of the candles, this is the speed at which they're moving, this is the volume of orders going into whatever instrument. So obviously more volume, less volume, that'll be time. Now with gold, I find there's just this, like, no matter what time of the day really, except for maybe the very end of New York, very start of Sydney, there's just this constant stream of volume that's really nice, just this underlying engine of volume. And yeah, there are dips, of course, but there aren't too many dips. And when you do get a dip, it's often like price is actually exhausting. And then you get an influx in volume in the direction you want to trade, and that's a reversal. And I use volume a lot in my entries. I really rely on it. Obviously, most of the time there will be some sort of proper structural shift, but a lot of the time volume comes into play. I'm watching the speed of the candles, I'm watching the rate at which the tick candles are forming, blah blah blah. And that works well on gold because the volume is quite constant. It's not very sporadic. So when you do get a change in volume, when you get a shift in volume, and you're in the right area, it is very likely a shift if you're interpreting it correctly. Now, as for USDJPY, I find the volume kind of bounces in and out really sporadically. And what I mean by that is it's really infrequent and really irregular intervals. Sometimes you'll have high volume, sometimes you'll have low volume. Looks more like this. And when there's low volume, there's really fucking like no volume whatsoever. That's sort of the situation we were in last night. And then when we do happen to get an influx in volume, you're like, oh shit, like influx in volume in the area I want, looking like a bit of a shift here. I enter, but you don't really have the same degree of certainty on gold, or you don't have the same degree of certainty on USDJPY as you have on gold, because the volume is so, actually this is inaccurate. It'd be more like this, because I said sporadic. It should be like, shouldn't be regular at all. So it's more like this. You see something like this, you don't know whether it's just one of these sporadic impulses or whether it's actually influenced by a shift beginning to occur. So I think that's why I'm just not very effective at trading USDJPY, and why I try to avoid it unless there's like an absolute S tier setup. Last night was up there, but this could be bullshit, guys, but I'm just speculating. I think that makes sense. It looks quite accurate to me just looking at the chart, but I just think where gold is more constant, you can use that shift in volume as an indicator to enter. Where USDJPY is more sporadic, if you do get this crazy shift in volume, yeah, maybe it could be a time to enter, but maybe it is just a random little spike in volume, and we're just going to continue ranging out, right? Volume's going to die back down right away, like it did in the trade last night. So, yeah, I'll end it there.